What's good, y'all? It's your man Sight, and today I'm gonna put y'all on to my new exclusive all original breakbeat plug. He's an incredible producer based out of Amsterdam, and we're gonna walk through some of his kits that he sent me. Incredible stuff, y'all, especially if you're into breakbeat hip hop and chopping up drum breaks. You're tired of using the same old breakbeats everybody's been using for the past 30 years, you're gonna wanna check this one out. Let's get busy. All right, welcome back, y'all. So as I said in the intro, I want to introduce y'all to a plug that I found. Incredible sound designer by the name of Shroom. He's actually got an incredible list of credits. Wu-Tang, Ghostface, J. Cole, Ari Lennox, Busta Rhymes, The Lox, Pusha T, Mobb Deep, Eminem, Logic. I mean, the dude's work speaks for itself. Now, a couple months ago, I was really looking for new sounds, and a friend of mine sent me a couple packs to test out, and there was a folder in there with Shroom's name on it, but I never clicked on it for some reason. So after making beats for a few months, I actually looked in the folder the other day. Woo! Mind-blowing stuff. When I first heard it, I thought it was just like a vintage drum kit that somebody had taken from records, but then I started realizing there were so many different variations of the drum patterns that you could really pick out which one that you like, and each kit included fills that will help you fill in the end of your tracks when it's about to loop around. So me being the curious producer that I am, I Googled Shroom, and sure enough, I found his Instagram page, and man, I was an instant fan. So I reached out to him, I told him I was a fan of his work, and asked him if I could review some of his kits to show you guys, and he was kind enough to send me about 4 or 5 of his newest kits, and man, they did not disappoint. So let's check them out. I'm gonna show you guys what I did with it on a recent beat, and we'll also go through a couple things that are on the other kits as well, all right? So first things first, I was actually messing around with Scalar, which is a plugin I actually just got. I've been using Pad Perform Mode to do my chord progressions, but the Scalar plugin is a lot more detailed, and I'm gonna do a video about that coming up soon as well, working with that in the MPC. But long story short, I came up with a cool chord progression, and it sounded like this. Kind of had like a soft rock edge. So I decided to flip it and start adding some drums. So I started with a snare. And I also threw another clap layer on there. Then I added a kick. So that was pretty cool. I was starting to get a little bit of a vibe, but what I've been liking to do lately is add hi-hat loops that are live, but instead I went ahead into Shroom's kits to see if I can find something that matched the tempo, and sure enough, the BPM was 160 on this because I like to do double time hi-hats, but you know, if you shrink it down to kind of boom bap style, it's really 80 BPM, so I just needed to find an 80 BPM loop or something close to it that I could warp. So I loaded up 4 of the samples from one of the kits, and this is what it sounded like. Then there were 2 fills. So you could use either one of those fills by themselves, but I thought, okay, let me go ahead and make my own loop. And keep in mind, there were probably another 8 or 10 variations in this folder of this one breakbeat. So I just chose the 2 that I liked the most, and I put together a breakbeat pattern, and it sounded like this. So when we add in our piano loop and the kick and snare that we put on there, that breakdown's just nasty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we grooving now, baby.
So now that we got a really dope groove and a loop going, I want to go ahead and add a bass line. And I pulled up my Tube Synth 808s and I went with the patch called Sight Filthy 808.7. If you haven't checked those out yet, make sure you go to my website, iamsight.com. I put together a whole 808 kit in my last video that's all in the Tube Synth. That's completely usable and standalone, and it gives you about 13 808 patches. So I chose out of those, and I found this pretty dope bass line here. Now I also wanted to split up that piano loop, not necessarily split it up, but I wanted to make two variations of it. I'll keep one full like that for the hook, and then I also wanted to have a filtered one for the verses. So I went ahead and put that together, and the filtered one sounded like this. So I also like to do a second variation of each verse. So I went ahead and loaded up an instrument from the F9 kit. So I loaded up this patch on track 7. You can see the patch down here below. It's a plucked Celeste sound and it sounds like this. Yeah, I think I'm good with that one. All right, so let's go in and check in some of the other drum kits that he sent me. Now, the ones I had earlier are the Killer Breaks 3 and Killer Breaks 5 that my homeboy sent me. And these are some of his older kits, but man, those things smack. But I'm gonna show you the ones that he just sent me, which are the laid back breaks and the street breaks. The street breaks are actually a kit that was made from a drummer that's straight off the street. So it's actually buckets and just basically like a handmade drum kit made out of random items. So check it out, it's really cool sounds. And it's really dope how that live drummer kind of hit those triplets. Really sounds crazy. So I think that'll be good. Even for some kind of like experimental trap type vibes, that should be really dope. Let's keep going. Okay. I like how each kit has different variations, so you can really get fancy and really break up your drum loops. And you can chop them obviously as well, but this is a good underlying bed texture for beats, which is one of my favorite ways to produce and kind of what gave the golden age its flavor, having those break beats underneath more modern synthesized drums. And it gives it like a human soul feel underneath these machine drums. So next we'll check out these laid back breaks. I'll just pick a random one here. Let me see, 75 BPM. And this one has a fill. So dope, so dope. And that's the same kit. So as you can hear, he's using different hi-hats. He's using different hi-hat patterns, as well as opening the hi-hats and closing them. So you have really a lot of variation in each kit. So let's check out some of the fills in that kit as well. Oh, that's nasty. As you can hear, these are just super unique, and each pack has a whole bunch of kits. So this one in particular has 22 different kits that you can use. It's pretty amazing. So if you look back all through his other Killer Breaks kits, you're talking about hundreds of modern original break beats that you can chop up and do whatever you want with. Last but not least, let's check out this Killer Flutes and Horns 2 and see what they sound like. All right, we'll go into the horn compositions first. Let me see. Dark Alleys. Let's see what that's hitting for. All right, let's check out this one called The Return. Wow, that's pretty crazy. And another one called The Invasion. Really, really dope stuff. So as you can hear, it sounds like there's just different moods, all different type of vibes, and it's real analog vintage sounding. Just based on the equipment that I've seen on his Instagram page, he's running it all through like vintage analog gear, and that's what gives it that kind of warm, gritty texture. So I'm really feeling it. You guys should definitely check it out. I'm definitely going to be banging out with some of these for the next week or two. So I'm not going to hold you guys too long. I just really wanted to show you this amazing kit from a talented producer. And as my first actual review on this channel, it's really great that I can show love to a fellow producer and creative who's just doing amazing work. And I'm looking forward to doing this kind of stuff more in the future, checking out more kits from dope producers so we can support our own in the community. Especially in the times that we're in right now, it's really going to come down to us supporting each other. And once again, I appreciate all y'all for supporting me, everybody who cops the MPC Gang merch to support the channel. It means a lot. Shout out to everybody who picked up my standalone 808-2 synth expansion. It's really blowing up. I really appreciate you guys for showing love on that, man. I really didn't expect this type of response, but I'm glad everybody's digging it. I'm glad people are using it in their beats. And as you can hear, I'm using it in mine. It's just really convenient to be able to load up something, whether it's standalone or in the box, and just have some good quality bass tones that you can rock with and put glides on. It's kind of a no-brainer. So salute to y'all. Sight signing out. Peace.